Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by NFU Mutual.
Hello and welcome to the new series of Countryside here on Manx Radio. I'm Simon Clark.
And I'm Kirree Kermode. This week I catch up with a very excited Carol Kennaugh to talk about the forthcoming summer shows.
And I was at Ballaclucas at the Lhen to witness some Isle of Man ploughers in action. Well, Kirree, it's been a while. Welcome back, and welcome to our listeners as well to the new series of Countryside. Well, a lot's been happening, goodness me, or not happening, as the case may be.
That's it. We're in a lot better position than they are over in the UK. That's one thing for sure. And the Isle of Man government have worked very hard, along with the Manx public, to get us into this position of being out of lockdown and able to go about our daily chores again.
Yeah, and I think that we do need to applaud all our services who have done so well. I know people have been moaning that we should have done this and should have done that, but when you're sitting in that chair trying to make a decision for the best, I don't think it would be an easy job, would it?
That's right, a very difficult job, and that was some of the choices that some of our agricultural show committees had to make this year gone by, and decisions for going forward too into 2021.
Talking about the agriculture and everything is in the thick of the budget, isn't it, as well? And that's been mentioned, of course, the fishing industry, because that's one we do try and cover on the show sometimes. It's very difficult sometimes to get some words out of people, but obviously with the Brexit happened and fighting for their causes at the moment, isn't it?
It is. It's very difficult for the fishermen there, and hopefully they will be able to find a way through that can benefit them. It's such a hard job out at sea, and to deliver such an amazing product as well. Our island thrives from its seafood industry, and the restaurants enjoy it, but it's got to look after our fishermen the same as the farmers.
Yeah, and one good thing I think that's come out of it, you look at the north of the Isle of Man in particular at the moment. The mackerel man has got his stall there with Big Bry on a Saturday afternoon, and obviously the Camellie, shop has opened in Ramsey as well. And it's encouraging to see that they're trying to do something different by grabbing it in off the boat and straight in the shop and selling it, because it's been lacking one of them up north for a while.
That's right. It's this pandemic has brought to light food security just generally, but also the innovation and to bring the food to the public in maybe different methods, takeaways instead of restaurants, and like you say, bringing the stock straight out of the sea and onto the counter to be sold direct. You're cutting out middlemen and all the rest of it, and it's really coming down to that now. It's the survival of the fittest. This pandemic seems to be going on, and now it's the real hard times are setting in. But like I say, food security is right up there and so important.
What's your favourite fish? Nemo?
Just a bit of cod, I think.
Oh, fair enough. Well, one event that seems to be going ahead is probably good news later in the year.
That's right. The Royal Manx Agricultural Show has announced that they will be holding their show alongside the Southern District Agricultural Show down there at Great Meadow. And I caught up with one of the secretaries, Carol Kennaugh from the Royal Manx, to see how the year has been.
Of course, we didn't have the show in 2020 because of COVID. That decision was made in April of last year. It was absolutely heartbreaking, but there was just no way around it. There's so much organisation goes into it, inviting judges, planning. We just thought the right decision was to cancel.
And how has that affected the society?
We have had a financial loss through not holding the show, believe it or not, with the overheads that we've had. But in some ways, it's made us more determined to put on a show this year. That was our aim, our goal, and the decision was made by Council in October that we would run with the show in 2021.
Well, that is brilliant news, and I bet all of the Isle of Man will be looking forward to that event coming up in August. What kind of works had to go in now to prepare, obviously, and the judges' situation?
Judges, we usually start to invite the judges in the January. All the judges who are on panels from the UK, we usually have about 15 judges come over. They are on a panel of their different breed societies, and they will be judging throughout the UK all throughout the summer. So to actually pin somebody down and have them agree to come to the Isle of Man is a major coup. The uncertainty of the borders was another big decision, and so in November, Council were absolutely unanimous. We were having a show, and to ensure that, it was local-only judges.
That is a great privilege to some of the older generation on the Isle of Man that will be delighted to come and judge the stock. But also we've got some great stock people here too, Carol.
And I think that's something that we have overlooked, unfortunately, over the years. Everybody wants to exhibit and have their stock judged by experts, but we forget we have got experts here on the Isle of Man, and the judges I've been in touch with have been overwhelmed, honoured, delighted to come to the Royal Manx Agricultural Show in August.
That is absolutely fantastic. But for an exhibitor like myself, the excitement of a show coming up, I know my friends over in the UK are absolutely beside themselves. They're still in lockdown. The breeding stock, you see them on Facebook there with nowhere to go. But now we've got something nice to look forward to, and it is a huge plus for the island. As an exhibitor, Carol, it's always exciting to come away with the rosettes and those lovely silver trophies at the end of the day. And I guess people will be getting them polished up, ready to go back now.
Yes, we've decided to actually recall the trophies earlier than we would usually do, and if anybody was a trophy winner in 2019, if they could get in touch and arrange to either drop off or for me to collect them, I'd like really to get those back in as soon as possible.
But not only that, Carol, we had a great prime stock show back in the late part of 2020.
Yes, we were very fortunate again, one of probably the only agricultural societies to hold a prime stock show. They were the last week in November. The livestock show was very, very well supported. The mart was bursting at the seams with people, exhibitors, stock, and people were just delighted to be able to get together to show their animals. They hadn't been able to in 2020 at the summer shows, and their support really, really was much appreciated.
And not only that night was one thing that everybody noted was how many young people were in attendance. It was just fantastic to see.
And we're seeing that more and more through the different exhibitors. They've got family coming through, younger members. The young farmers, we've always had a great relationship with the young farmers, and they turned out in style and in numbers.
And what do these events mean to the local farmer community? Are they important?
Very, very important. They're just dates in their calendars, and sometimes you'll find with farming people, they don't actually see each other from one year to the next, and it is just a big major thing. It's their day, it's their night, and they want to continue with them. As long as they want to continue, we're there to provide a show for them.
And obviously, like you've said now, that 2021 is definitely going ahead. So what entertainment and things like that now have we got to look forward to?
Entertainment, again, will be locally based. We haven't really discussed in depth what entertainment we will have, but one thing we've rolled over from 2020, we hope to hold, it's a knockout competition. So we have got Giant's costume on hire, and the idea is it will be a corporate event and will be open, say, to corporate teams, probably a number of 6 people. We'll have heats and then a final just before the Grand Parade on the Saturday of the shows.
And like you say, getting all these things brought together, it is definitely teamwork by all of the show committee.
Everybody pulls together. We have our own little teams that go off and do different things, but at the end of the day, ultimately, everybody pulls together. We're all aiming for the same goal, to provide a show.
And I suppose now, Carol, we'll be looking to ticket sales and maybe the exhibitors getting their entries in.
Yes, tickets. Well, we haven't actually met since November. We had our AGM in December, where we don't discuss any other business apart from the AGM. January's meeting was cancelled, so there's a lot to discuss next week at the council meeting. Ticket sales will invariably go, probably start those after April. The prize list schedule will go out at the end of April, as it always does. I have a list of the exhibitors from 2019, and anybody else that's interested, just get in touch. Trade stands will go live in the next week. All details will be on our website. People can now actually apply for a trade stand online, which is a new thing, and that's something that we're actually working on very, very closely with Callum Staley, is an online entry system.
Excellent, yeah.
Yeah, we've just decided now, people don't have checkbooks these days, can't write cheques. At least we have online banking, which is a bit of a coup. But the online entry system we've been pushed for, and we've agreed, yes, that's what we're going to do.
That is absolutely fantastic. And this year, will you be looking for any main sponsors, or is that all sorted out?
Oh no, we'll never say no to money. We do have a loyal band of sponsors, in particular Manx Telecom. We've just signed a new 3-year agreement with them. Their support is absolutely fantastic. It is phenomenal. They've supported us through the good years, and more so through the bad years. We've had so much technical support. They've put out the DVDs that we discovered that we actually had in our archives, and they've put those onto Facebook for us, and that's kept real interest into the society in the last few months.
So that is something we can all mark down in our calendars now. And what's that date?
Friday the 13th of August and Saturday the 14th of August.
Unlucky for some, but I guarantee it will be a good one.
Yeah, it's got to be. No matter what happens, it will be a good. All the shows are good. Every show is different for one reason or another. But these 2 days really will be pulled together.
That was Carol Kennaugh from the Royal Manx Agricultural Show Society.
Yeah, and some good news there, because obviously people have been pending on these sort of things, waiting to see what happens, because it's not something you'll know firsthand. It's not something you can prepare for in a week, is it?
Absolutely not. And like Carol said, it takes a lot of preparation, and to bring UK judges over on a normal year takes a lot of time and effort. But it's great to hear some of those stalwarts of the Manx community there coming forward to take up judging positions and recognise wonderful, wonderful stockmen of their day to come and judge the stock, which will be a feather in the hat to many to put stock in front of those people.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty reasonable time at the moment for lamb prices and beef prices, hasn't it, on the island?
It really has. There was the impending doom of Brexit and all of the happenings with the pandemic, but it has not really affected the beef and lamb trade generally. And with that said, where farmers are experiencing real good returns on their beef and lamb products here on the Isle of Man. It's above the 5-year average, especially for lamb, which it's where it should be, I suppose. It's a quality product, a great pride taken in the lamb production here on the Isle of Man, along with the beef as well. And it's really, really great to see.
Excellent stuff. You're listening to Countryside here on Manx Radio with Kirree Kermode and myself, Simon Clark. Well, we talk about events that have been put off and put off. We heard from Carol Kennaugh about one that's at the moment certainly going to go ahead, the Royal Manx Show. But one event that went ahead was at Ballaclucas Farm at the Lhen, courtesy of Liz and Will McMillan, their land there. And it was the Northern Young Farmers ploughing match. And I caught up with the judge, Dennis Duggan, Colin Duggan, who was competing, and firstly, Stewie Callow.
Well, Stewie Callow, you look as though you're done and dusted for the day.
Yes, Simon. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not the best I've done, but not too bad.
But it's nice to get out.
Lovely, yeah, it is. Yeah, I was very, very fortunate to be able to get out ploughing. So,
which is it a few different classes today, or?
Yes, there'll be vintage hydraulic and world style. This is world style, and Billy Kermode is up the top there. He's in the Manx style.
Right, so 3 different areas of work.
And there was one horse. Yeah, I haven't been up for a look, so I don't know how the horses got on. So yeah.
But the horses, he's although you've got the higher end of the field here at Ballaclucas, it's still pretty soft underfoot.
It is, yeah. It's remarkable the rain we've had, isn't it? It's you don't think it's going to stop. So yeah.
But you got the advantage, 4-wheel drive on yours, Stewie?
Yeah, I'm getting too old, Simon, to be struggling. I've sat out in the open a lot in my lifetime, so.
But the others,
nice to have a cab.
Yeah, the others with the seen old Fergie there before, Al with the 35, all 2-wheel drive. They seem to be trundling along though.
Yeah, no, they pull fine. Yeah, they're good. Smaller ploughs too. That's the thing, But no, they're going well. Very good. Yeah, some good work done up there.
And who's judging today?
I think it's Graham Lord and Dennis.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're done for the day. I'll let you crack on, get warm, get a cup of tea.
Thank you, Simon.
Well, Colin Duggan, you look as though you're repairing or altering. I don't know which.
Just plenty of altering.
Right.
Yeah.
And is it all to do with the conditions? What you're altering stuff with?
No, not at this stage of the match. This is where it's critical to alter the plough so as to get a good finish.
Oh, you're on the clash now, aren't you?
Yeah.
It looks pretty good so far, though.
Not bad.
No, are you pleased with it?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what about
Considering conditions, make the best of the weather.
Yes, a bit soft
Bit
under
soft
tyre,
Yeah.
so to speak, isn't it? But
Yes.
but it's nice to have something going on, isn't it? Get out.
Absolutely. I was talking to a friend of mine from North Wales the other night on the phone, and he's dead jealous of us being able to go to a ploughing match. And,
Yeah. Are you sort of stuck for time today, or are we
No.
all right?
No, we're all right.
Well, how do you sort of start then? Do you pick out of a hat a number,
Yeah. Yes.
and that's your lot?
Yes, that's your lot. And just
And
look
there's
at the
always
draw.
a certain width.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody has the same amount of land
Can
to
it
plough.
vary, or is it the same for each competition?
Can vary, depends on the size of the field.
All right. So normally it's
Well,
50 yards?
about 60 yards, I think we are today.
Oh, wasn't a bad guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So how would you start off then? Do you go out and you don't just start ploughing straight away, like, do you?
Well, you set your sticks up from the marks. You're allowed 3 sticks to put your mark in. Your first scrape goes in, and then you turn round and you complete your opening split. Is the first part where you plough one furrow out one way and one the other way.
That's always to ensure all the ground.
So
was
all the
ploughed,
land is
isn't it? Yeah.
moved, and then that's you stop then until that's judged, because that's part of it as
Yeah.
well. Then once that's judged, you crack on. Then set the bar in at the start, and that has to be straight, uniform, as level as possible with the rest of the ploughing, and then carry on ploughing then, and then ideally every furrow should be the same as the one he's sitting alongside. They should be all sitting like little soldiers, and that's your uniformity.
And is that made more difficult with the likes of today, with it being softer in areas? The plough usually takes a bit more, doesn't it? Puts a higher bit in, can it?
Can be, especially where you get these tram lines in stubble fields where the fertiliser and sprays have gone on. The land is sort of compacted in little places, and that will send a plough crooked.
So you can crack on then till you get to the stage where you're at.
Yeah.
And then you a bit of measuring and stuff.
Well, you have to keep your measurements, keep an eye on your measurements all the way when you start. When you do 3 rounds round the bye, and then you measure up to your next man who you're joining up to, and you have to make sure that it's parallel.
All right. Can it
once-
affect it if the other fella makes a brock then?
Oh yeah, you have to sort it out.
A gentle word with them.
No. It's up
Just at the measuring then.
It's up to me to sort him out.
Right.
Yeah. And then just keep an eye on the measurements coming through to the finish then, and so.
But you got to alter some stuff on the plough.
Yeah, plough has to be moved. On my plough is old and everything is manual, but these modern ploughs have got it all by hydraulic.
Right. Is this a Ford plough? Or
It's
Ransom?
a Ransom's plough.
Yeah.
It's from around about 1970. It was new,
Oh, quite a modern one then.
and the tractor is from 1977.
International?
So, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this one of the first with the synchromesh gears? This one?
Yes, they were. Yeah.
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 Modern technology for you. Anyway,
They
great.
were a big step forward in their day.
Yeah, it's different now again, though, aren't they?
Oh,
Press a button
electronic
away.
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll leave
Yeah.
you to it. It looks pretty good what you've done so far, and Colin will let you
Okay,
finish
thank
off
you.
the class. Thanks.
See you later.
Well, Dennis Duggan, you're one of the judges studying this clash hard here, but it is a ploughing one today.
Well, considering the amount of rain that we had this week and coming here today, it's remarkable how dry the ground is, and there's a lovely lot of work done here today. We're just in the process of judging along with Josh here. We're not quite finished yet, but it's going to be very close between the first 3, and on general we're very lucky to have such a wonderful day and weather, considering what we've had this week.
It is, and when you consider, and I was driving down here and I thought all the water on our land, I thought there's going to be tow ropes and everything pulling, because most of the older ones are like two-wheel drive and stuff, aren't they?
Yes, most of the tractors that come to the ploughing matches now are pretty well vintage or very old tractors, and they are lovely to see about, and there's quite a number of just two-wheel drive tractors here today, which normally you don't see, but you know, it's very nice to see them about.
A horse was here too, though.
Yes, there was only one set of horses here today, and they've done actually a remarkable job up there. A lovely bit of ploughing done at them, and there's only one entrance in the Manx style today as well, and that's a very good class as well. A very good job done.
Not much of a cab on the horse, so is it, behind her?
No, but there's probably a lot of people, the older generation, they'll remember having to do that day in and day out, regardless of what the weather was.
Yes, well, the strange thing is that, you know, it took a few hours for them all to do their little piece here today, and somebody like Josh is going to come in tomorrow and do the whole field in about an hour and a half.
Yes, when you see, well, the tractor's sitting down on the yard there with a 5-footer plough on it, and as you said, probably Josh will just knock this off in a few hours when he comes in, as where there's been, what, I think 10 tractors here today ploughing, or 11 actually. Yeah. We've been sort of best part of 6 hours.
Wow, it's incredible, isn't it? Any sort of hint on who the winner might be, or you're not going to reveal anything yet?
No, we'll not reveal anything yet. It's going to be very close between three of them, but yeah. We're not quite at the finish yet, because they haven't all got their clashes done, so we're going to move down the field and judge them now as we go.
Well, much appreciated your efforts, boys, because you need somebody to keep an eye on everything, and is there many rule breakers ever?
No, I think today we're just grateful to have them come here at ploughing matches to keep the tradition going. I remember when I was first started ploughing many years ago, it was very competitive and rules were rules, but they seem to have been relaxed over the years, and it's trying to encourage newer people to come in as well. And but I think if you were too strict on the rules and whatnot, people just wouldn't come in the tradition, and it would die out, which would be a great shame.
It would.
Well, great to get some insight into it there. Didn't get much out of Graham Lord. He was running away there, but him and Dennis there judging the ploughing and doing a great job. And it's nice, you know, we thought it would be tricky conditions with all that rain we've had and them little small lot of two-wheel drive tractors. But Will and Liz McMillan there at Ballaclucas, letting them in there, and it was a great bit of ploughing done.
That's right. It's always nice to see the ploughing. It's such an art, isn't it? And it's so important to get the ploughing right for agriculture. You're getting them seed beds ready for the corn or the new grass seeds. You know, it could be there for years to come. So always nice to see a good bit of ploughing. And it's nice to see some of the younger fellas taking up the reins and having a go too.
Yes, it is. And another event that is going ahead, and practices are going ahead, ready for the 4 clubs involved in the annual Isle of Man Federation of Young Farmers concert, which is due in mid-March. So hopefully we'll have some good news on that next week's programme.
We certainly should, and I do believe they are braving that frost and snow queuing up again this year.
Yes, we'll find out more next week. If you've got anything for Countryside, leave a message for Kirree Kermer or myself, Simon Clark, here at Manx Radio, and we'll get back to you if you've got something for the programme, or you can send an email to countryside@manxradio.com. In the meantime, though, for this week, we'll leave it there. We'll see you the same time next week. From me, Simon Clark.
And me, Kirree Kermer.
We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.